Hi, you are joining us here at FinTech Live London, and we're just taking a break during the lunch hour to introduce a special guest who's travelled across town to join us here in Greenwich, and we're going to be talking to him about his company, some exciting initiatives that they do regarding sustainability, and an exciting partnership we're announcing here today as well. So thank you for coming in today, and to start with, why don't you tell us who you are and who you work for?
Thanks, Scott. My name is Palm Dillon. I'm the managing director for a company called Sunstrike International. We specialize in the distribution of Apple iPhone devices, mainly second life devices. And the unique value proposition that we have is that most of our devices are sourced directly from Apple as a chain of custody, which all have 100% original parts because they're second life. They've all been fully tested by the Apple factory, and they all come with a minimum guaranteed percentage value of battery, thereby ensuring a bulletproof iPhone proposition for anybody purchasing a second life device.
So this is a second life device. If someone's not familiar with that phrase, what does that mean?
So put simply, it's like your old phone that's in your drawer. You could have that and they'll trade that in. The problem with that is what happens when they come through that different supply chain is those devices have either been repaired by third-party aftermarket places, and the biggest problem with those is the screens. Apple doesn't release spare parts up until now, even currently, into the market, which means that any screens that have been repaired, microphones, earpieces are all aftermarket and non-genuine.
Right.
And thereby hampering the user experience. It's not as Apple intended. The devices that we procure have gone through Apple's rigorous factory testing, and they've been fully tested on calibration and testing machines specifically designed for the iPhone. So anybody purchasing a second life device is sure to be getting a second life device as Apple intended in a full working condition.
I like the way that it's called a second life device rather than second hand or used. It makes it sound a lot more attractive, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, considering that we're all living and breathing every day,
yeah.
The device is in our hand, in our pocket, by our bed. It's living with us, so to speak, and we want to keep the longevity of that device for as long as possible. So, you could compare that to having a puppy or a cat, you know?
Yeah.
You hold it closer and more dear to your heart sometimes. Phone anxiety exists. The moment it's like 10 seconds away, where's my phone? So.
Well, you should have been here for our last session on the stage one here, Peter Stockhammer from Generali, and he showed a slide in his presentation, and they'd asked a question, which is, what can you not imagine life without? And it's something like 43% said their partner, but 97% said they couldn't live without their smartphone. So you're absolutely right. These are the most precious things in our lives. But you say that you procure these devices from Apple. So how does that actually work? I mean, you're not like walking into an Apple store or whatever. So where are you getting them from, and why is it good for Apple to sell them or redistribute them, give them a second life via Sunstrike?
So our heritage as a company has been distribution since the inception in 1996. We started out mainly on the Motorola devices when they were around.
Yeah.
The Motorola Razr. Hello
Classic
Moto.
phone. Classic, yes.
Yeah. So we've still got about 7,000 brand new of those devices.
Wow.
Of the Razr V3XX in rust orange. So that's something that still exists.
Yeah.
So at that time, we had in distribution, a 51% market share globally. So our heritage is device distribution. Our offices and distribution facilities are located strategically across the world, out of Dubai for the Middle East, Hong Kong for Far Eastern Asia, London for UK and Europe, and Miami for the Americas. So we've been around for a very long time since mobile's been around. So we understand, live and breathe mobile, and working closely with Apple, they work closely with us and they understand, they can see the value that we bring in making sure we distribute these devices and put them into the right channels. We're essentially seeding new demand for future iPhone users. And also we're working in line with how everybody should be working these days, which is to create a sustainable way of doing business. Sustainability should be at the heart of every business decision. So what we're doing is living and breathing by that as well. We're plugging ourselves into the supply chain of Apple, who are working in an extremely sustainable way now. And we're also working in a very sustainable way to make sure that that sustainability goes through the supply chain, resulting in eco devices, including the box. It's compostable. So at the end of this, you can plant some soil, plant some veg or a flower, whatever you want, and this will ensure that every part of the whole device chain is playing its part for the planet, preserving it for future generations.
That's brilliant. And as you said, every business is clearly trying to be more sustainable.
Yes.
And at BizClick, we're no exception. We've got a sustainability magazine.
Yeah.
We've got a sustainability live event.
Yes.
And we also have a sustainability pledge.
Yes.
So we're trying to be more sustainable as a business.
Yes.
And that brings me on to the reason why we're having this discussion today.
Fantastic.
So why don't you tell us why we're here today and how we're going to be partnering?
Thank you very much. So we're here today. Basically, we've been working within the whole sustainability part for many years now. It's come to the front of people's minds more so after COVID. And where we are today, we have a huge number of devices coming through our warehouses. And we found that traditionally as a wholesaling operation where we put them into B2B, we're finding that demand is going through technology, is coming through the online channels. And we're finding that there are a lot of low quality devices, such as the ones I mentioned earlier, that are in your drawer, that have been repaired multiple times by non-authorized repair centers. And thereby anybody using that device or purchasing that device will have a substandard performance.
Yeah.
And user experience. So what we would like to do is through eco devices is to make sure and say to everybody, if you're coming onto the world's most aspirational brand and you want to make sure that you get that bulletproof iPhone experience, that you should have a device that's gone through that rigorous testing process to ensure that all the parts are original, genuine. There's at least a minimum battery that's going to give you that optimized Apple experience, at least 80%. So put that together and all the devices have been picked and graded into grade A pristine condition. You're essentially getting a brand new device packaged in eco packaging. And
so this is the exciting bit. This is the unboxing that I've heard so much about.
So if you look at the device.
So what device is this specifically?
This is an iPhone 8,
right?
Extremely popular at the moment because it's a low cost device. It enables parents to be able to get the kids into the iOS system. So they can do calendar sharing. They can keep an eye on them, find my iPhone, and they know when they're leaving school, going to school. Second phone, if you need it at home. It's cost effective, and a price of this is around 150 to 165 pounds. So something like this that's been fully tested by Apple to ensure that you've got original parts. Because the biggest worry for me as a parent is getting a device and plugging it into the wall that's not been fully tested, and then it catches fire. You don't want that.
Yeah.
This has been fully tested. These come from Apple. So you've got complete peace of mind that this piece of kit, that when it's plugged into your home wall socket, you'll be able to go to sleep peacefully.
And you'll wake up again, importantly.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
With a wake up alarm.
So here's an important question then.
Yes.
So obviously this is Second Life, and you talked about buying the quality and the reassurance.
Yes.
So does this come with a warranty from you guys?
Yes. So in certain regions we're providing a warranty, but mainly we're working with retailers and mobile operators now. We're working closely with them, where we're finding that they want to put their own warranty in with their own service center so they can control their own supply chain. Because they've got their own user experience, they understand what their customers want. So what we do is we provide simply the device to them. They take the device and they have their complete service wrap within their whole ecosystem. So they'll be able to supply the warranty, put it into their service centers. So we leave that to them. They're the professionals there.
Absolutely,
yes.
Absolutely. Now, we were talking earlier, and I read a recent report, and it was a bewildering statistic. It said something like 2 billion smartphones, phones, devices are going to be put into landfill this year. 2 billion phones. That's crazy. And like you said, it might be that they're just going into a kitchen drawer or being put away and forgotten about. But that's an incredible amount of e-waste. And what you guys are doing is helping to combat that, right?
Yes.
So eliminating e-waste and giving these products a second life.
Correct.
And that's why we are partnering with you as well to reduce our e-waste, and really happy to do that. And I know that you're going to be providing us with some devices.
Yes.
And we'll be talking more about this partnership for sure.
Definitely.
So the important question is that phone for me?
Yes, it is.
Okay, excellent.
We were so excited that when we were approached to work with you guys, that you're also on that sustainability drive, And it's pioneers within even media like yourselves that are making those steps to go forward to look at procuring second life devices. And you recognize the value in them.
Yeah.
I mean, they perform just the same. Cost savings are there for you guys. But most importantly, you're eco-conscious is being fulfilled as well. So it's amazing. I commend you all on that.
It's a win-win all round, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
Okay.
Yes. Fantastic.
All right, brilliant. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Palm.
Thank you,
and I
Scott.
really look forward to developing this relationship even more.
Likewise, looking forward to it very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.